Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and today is Monday, January 30th. We've got kitties on my calendar. I am in the process of cooking. I really felt like peanut butter cookies today, but I just thought I would let you in on what I'm doing right now. And hopefully my camera angle is okay because I'm using it in the front facing mode. And that way I can point it to my food that I'm making. So, anyway, to get to it, I had some steak that I needed to repurpose. It's Monday. On Friday for lunch at my job, we ordered some steak, and it's supposed to be like a ribeye steak sandwich, and I was still sick. My voice is almost completely back. You might be able to hear a little bit that it's not all the way back yet. But anyway, so I was really, really sick. I was out last Monday through Thursday. And then I came back to work on Friday. This is kind of the short version of it. But I was still not feeling great. I wasn't feeling horrible. I was much better than I was because I'd been on an antibiotic since Monday. But anyway, I was still not feeling super great, so I wasn't super hungry. And we ordered this steak. I did it without a bun because I'm trying to make better choices. And, you know, buns, lots of carbs and extra calories that I don't really need. But I also ordered a side salad. I ate the side salad, but then I still wasn't actually very hungry for the steak itself. So I saved the steak and just remember today that I needed to do something with it. I'm like, oh no, it's Monday. I got that steak Friday. I need to do something. So I decided, again, long story short, I decided to do steak quesadillas. So what we're doing is I went ahead and chopped up some onion and some green pepper. I've got the rest of my onion right here. Don't mind this. It's the container the nozzle part ended up being a little bit broken. So we have it faced up. Most of it is in the refrigerator, but unfortunately we couldn't fit it all in there. So we've got it face up like that. That way it doesn't leak all over the place. But anyway, point being, on my countertop here, I've got my leftover steak, which I like to call slut steak. So, because it's already been used once. It's funny, and then, like I said, I chopped up a half of an onion and one whole green pepper. So this is what I got going on here. I'm just kind of sauteing it a little bit in about 1¼ tablespoons of butter. And what I'm doing, I've got it on low heat, which I'm going to turn up shortly. But I've got it on low heat, and I kind of toss around in that butter. I keep it all towards the center of the pan, and then I use a glass lid with a little steamy thing, little steam vent, to kind of just trap that heat in. That way I can get those cooked first. So that's basically what I'm doing with that. As soon as those are cooked down to where I want them to be, I'm going to add the steak, and then I am going to put in a little bit of this taco seasoning from Old El Paso. I think it's Old El Paso brand. I cut off the top. But anyway, we got some taco seasoning. I'm just probably going to put in a few tablespoons since I'm only making enough for me and my sister for dinner. And then also, let's see here. Yeah, enjoy my floor there. Let's see. Oh, I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. But, and we're going to have broccoli as a side dish, so that'll be fun. Let's see here. I am going to go ahead, actually, and put that steak in there. So, we'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully this will work well. My kitchen's actually pretty clean. I could clean the heck out of it. And it might not look very clean. We've got that spot that you saw on the floor is just there. I haven't been able to get it up. But anyway, so let's go ahead and dump that steak in there. Yeah, so it was supposed to be for a ribeye steak sandwich. So I had a whole steak. I cut it up. I put it in the pan like so. And then grab my spatula because it's across the room. All right, kind of just stir it in with it. Kind of get some better lighting here. All right, and now, since that's in there and the green pepper and the onion are cooked down a little bit more, and that pan I have a plan for. I know it just kind of looks random, but it is both holding the lid, and it will also be the pan that I do, I think, the actual quesadillas in, because it's nonstick. It's way easier to use than this one. This one is a nonstick pan, but obviously, as you can see a little bit, it's older, and so its nonstick properties are not as great as they used to be. So that is why we're going to use the other one to make the actual quesadillas. So I've got that kind of in there. Now, basically what I'm doing at this point, sticking that in there and putting it under there, is just so that I can get that heat into the steak. So yes, and I do love coffee. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn it up a little bit. All right, kind of heat up that steak. And then again, like I said, there's my inspiration. I really want to have a Korra body for all you Avatar The Last Airbender / Avatar The Legend of Korra fans out there. Even though she's like the worst Avatar, she really is. I would love to have a body like that. So, and I feel like our body types are similar. So there's my microwave. Obviously, microwave's old. Pay no mind to that. And then we've got the steamable broccoli in there. So that's going to be the side item with that. So that being said, I am going to continue to stir this. Be right back. Alrighty, so it's had a little bit of time to be under there. I stirred it once, and I am going to go ahead then. I turned it up a little bit. What the heck? Nice fire going on under there. Alrighty. And voila! Nothing you haven't seen before. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to stir it a little bit before I add the seasoning to it. And I feel like since I got 6-inch tortillas, that I'm probably going to have way more left over than what I'm, because my plan is basically to have 2 small quesadillas each. So there's that. Now I have, so that I can do this one-handed, hopefully, and not burn the house down or drop my phone or anything. I went ahead and put the seasoning in a little bowl, so that way I can get in there with my 1 teaspoon measuring spoon. And we're approximate, so it's a little over a teaspoon, but I'm not horribly worried about it. So I'm just going to kind of do like 2-ish. It says there are 6 per container, so I'm going to leave the rest. I wasn't sure how that was going to look coming out, and I am actually a little bit surprised. It smells amazing. I'm a little bit surprised that a teaspoon is that big. I have more experience with tablespoons because I have done a lot of like calorie counting with stuff before where I measured everything out. And usually a tablespoon's your measurement for, say, soy sauce or ketchup, or 2 tablespoons of my favorite, and as you all know, I am not sponsored. It's just my personal favorite, Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. But yeah, so I am more familiar with that. So as you can see, again, this is an older pan, so the nonstick is not so nonstick, but we only did 2 teaspoons of the taco seasoning. So again, what this has in it is basically butter to kind of help it not stick to the pan, kind of give it a little extra flavor. So 1 1/4 tablespoons of butter. And that ends up coming out to, see, it's usually 100 calories per tablespoon. So it's 125 calories for this 1 1/4 tablespoons. And this is for the total recipe. All right. So we might actually be able to do the 4 quesadillas without, hey, I almost lost one. Ta-cha. All right. Without having anything left over. They'll just be like jam-packed. Okay, so there's that. I am going to go ahead and turn off my heat. And just in case, I might actually go ahead and remove it from the heat as well. That way I don't have to constantly be stirring it. And so I'm going to use my newer pan to do the quesadilla part. And I just realized there's a couple of pieces. There are a couple of pieces of green pepper on there. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape that off in there. And then I will start on my tortillas for the quesadillas. And I'll talk about those as well. Okay. Yes, so I had to rearrange my settings a little bit here. All right, so the plan now is to do the tortilla part. So as you can see, I've got my pan. It's a nice non-stick pan. I'm going to probably do 2 at a time. We're going to lay down our tortillas. Let those kind of get nice and toasty a little bit. And I just want to show you after I get some cheese on there. So I am kind of eyeballing stuff. 1/4 cup of shredded cheese is your serving. And we're probably going to have, honestly, about 1/2 cup on here. Because I like to put a little bit. And I am eyeballing it. But I like to put a little bit on both sides. I read online today, actually, that corn tortillas tend not to hold up as well as far as rolling goes. And while I'm not going to be rolling it, I thought that the cheese would make a nice binding agent to the corn tortillas. So I started with that. I put that in my little measuring cup thing. That way I can get to it easily. Okay. Put in some of this deliciousness. I'm pretty excited about it. Actually super excited because I was trying to figure out what to do with this steak. And I looked up online today different ideas for repurposing steak, and this is one of the ones that came up. And I was like, there were a lot of ideas like salad and a lot of noodle dishes and stuff, but I was like, oh no, it's gonna be this quesadilla idea. It was perfect. So I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Alrighty. Okay, hopefully my pan's not too hot. I'm a little concerned because I did turn it up. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn it down a little bit just in case. Because as I'm yakking, I really don't want it to get, you know, too hot. So then I've got this chunky mild salsa here. Salsa tends to be a low-calorie topping. We've only got like 10 calories for 2 tablespoons. All right, and that's probably about how much I'm going to use. Again, I'm eyeballing. I have to kind of shake this a little bit because this spoon's a big one. But just kind of, I wouldn't call it drizzling, but you know, maybe I would call it drizzling. Anyway, so I'm probably using about 2 tablespoons then, because I thought I was going to use less, and I'm like, no, that's going to need a little bit more. Alrighty. I like my little setup here. My cheese and my tortillas and all that. And I'm super pumped because this smells so fucking good right now. And I'm really, really hungry. And I was just trying to figure out what to do. Today, I had to go get some groceries so that I could fix something for dinner. Because we're trying not to eat out too much. And here's where that other 1/4 cup comes in of cheese. I put that on top. And like I said, I'm kind of using it as a binding agent. Just in case the corn tortilla wants to fall apart on me. Because I don't have much experience cooking with corn tortillas. Growing up in my family, it's mostly been flour tortillas. But I actually like the taste of corn tortillas. And this was my deciding factor. I'll show you in just one moment. All right, we're going to go ahead and put that corn tortilla on top. And the other corn tortilla on top. All right, so my deciding factor with choosing my tortillas was that, again, this is a white corn tortilla, but you can't guess where I went to get all my groceries. I was looking at the nutrition facts for the tortillas, and the flour tortillas It was one 6-inch tortilla was 100 calories. And these corn tortillas was two 6-inch tortillas for 100 calories. And I was like, heck yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I was like, corn tortillas for the win. So that is the plan there. All right. So let's see if I can flip this without like, hopefully I didn't burn it yakking like I have. All righty. Okay, get under there with my, I lost some of it, but such is life, right? You win some, you lose some. That's just the way it is. And I'm actually surprised that that is not darker. Let's see if I can't kind of move this a little bit. Again, trying to do the filming and the cooking at the same time. And again, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I probably should have left it on for a little bit longer or maybe turned it on to a higher heat. But we're going to kind of keep all this together. That way we know that that's where that deliciousness belongs with that corn tortilla. This one might be a little bit easier. And I have a bigger spatula. I just didn't think I would need to use it. That one turned a lot better than the other. But now I can't say that it's regrets, but I can say that I have just had a learning experience. When I went to hair school, we said we don't make mistakes, we make discoveries. So I discovered that I probably should have went ahead and had a bigger spatula. So check out my drawer here. There's my nice big spatula. I could have used that instead. And yes, a lot of my stuff is old. I'm not rich. We use the heck out of stuff. But to my knowledge, it is all food safe. So, and I am a stickler about food safety because I also have my sanitation certificate. The only difference is when I'm cooking for myself at home, if it's just for me and my sister, especially if it's just for me, I'm a lot more lax about some things like touching my tortilla, but I made sure to wash my hands beforehand and everything. So there's that. All right. So I am going to go ahead and prepare some plates. That way, when the time comes, here's my awesome cabinet. We got all kinds of stuff up there. This is really cool. I think I got this for my sister for Christmas. It is like a ramen steam bowl thing. It's pretty cool. But anyway, so I'm gonna get me some plates. Try not to ruin everything. Okay. I'm gonna put them on the counter. I'll rearrange my counter. And I tried to get rid of all the junk that I had from the from cutting up the onion and the green pepper. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put that onion away. And I'm keeping a keeping an ear on my tortillas over there. That way I can hopefully not burn them, but I'm gonna do my best not to. So, and I will put that away shortly. I actually got a different salsa just in case we didn't have any left, but we still had some open in the refrigerator that was still good. So now we have an extra salsa. All right, see, let me put all this stuff, move it around, kind of rearrange it a little bit. I have a work table over there. You can see my work table, recycling. This is some clean dishes that are covered by a towel because my cat likes to try to get up there and he is so not allowed on our surfaces like that. But occasionally he thinks he's smooth and he tries to do that. So I have to beat him. Just kidding. I don't beat cats, but I have to scold him verbally. And I tell him, you know better. So, okay. So we're going to do this one plate at a time because again, usually I would take the pan over to the plates that are on the counter, but because I can't do that, because I'm using one hand to film, I am going to check it actually and make sure. Nope, they're not done yet. So, okay, well, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the heat a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get the broccoli situated on the plates. So let's see here. I'm going to line this up like so. Hope it works out. All right. So you get a nice side-eye view of what I'm doing here. Like I said, I cleaned my kitchen, and it's a lot better than it was. So if it doesn't look perfect, I'm not perfect, and I'm not worried about it. But I did clean it, so I'll use my dedicated kitchen scissors. They're not actual kitchen scissors, but they are dedicated to my kitchen. So got the broccoli. Go ahead and shake it out. So what we're doing with the broccoli, I can drain some of this juice real quick. What we're doing with the broccoli basically is half a bag for my sister and half a bag for me because it's nutritious and good for us. So it's fine if we have a lot of that. Tossed it. Toss that in the trash can. I'm gonna go ahead and grab me a fork and scoop some of the broccoli over. I'm listening to those quesadillas, and I'm trying to hurry and not freak out so much. Which I'm not freaking out anyway, but I want to make sure that if I'm going to do them, I don't ruin them, burn them. So here we are. Got that there. Gonna put one, and maybe I should learn. Maybe I should take my own advice and learn my own lesson. I'll be honest, like if it was just me, one, this would not be a problem because I'd be able to use both hands, but two, I would probably just wing it. But I went ahead and grabbed the bigger spatula, so hopefully this will be easier. All right, yes, much easier. Okay, and place that there. All righty. And since I'm going to try to keep everything about even, go ahead, carry those over here. Scooch this guy on to there. And don't ask me why it's guy. It's just the way I do it. It's just a guy. So, and then again, most of this from that tortilla. So we're just going to shake it on with my one hand that I have available. All right, so 1, 2. All right, it's nice and hot still. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. That way I have plenty of space. So this is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at 2 beautiful plates with big fat quesadillas that are kind of floppy. And I'm okay with that because I'm hungry and I don't care and it smells amazing. So we're gonna put these down. And I'm going to get these going, again, just the same way that I did last time, with probably about a half a cup of cheese. And I know that this is going to be higher calorie because of the 2 quesadillas instead of just 1 and the full cup, or not full cup. Well, I mean, technically it would be probably about a full cup with a quarter of a cup of cheese on each side of the quesadillas. But again, I don't mind getting our steak taco seasoning green pepper onion concoction on there. And last time that I cooked, I kind of sang about my lettuce boats because I was super excited about them. I am not singing this time. My throat is still a little bit hurting from when I was sick, so just kind of winging it. And it looks like, let me pause here. It looks like these are going to have a little bit less on there. So I have a little bit less in the cup, so hang tight. All right, I got my remaining on there, so there we go. And again, hoping that I'm not burning the tortilla itself as I chat. So I'm thinking that altogether, this is probably about a 20 to 30 minute prep meal because your steamable broccoli is going to take 6 minutes. And while that 6 minutes is happening, you're going to be cutting your green pepper and your onions and your steak to repurpose, or, you know, I mean, get creative. You can cook a fresh one if you wanted to. I'm just kind of one of those people most of the time that feels like if it's steak, you don't want to waste a fresh steak on something like this unless you're going out to eat and then someone else is preparing it for you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and flip her. Cha-cha! Okay, so that one worked way better than the last time. Oh, you got to view my lovely chair there. My bad. You can watch me flip this one then. But anyway, I feel like the tortilla is not as dark as I'd like it to be, but at the same time, hey, that one's nice and dark. At the same time, at least it flipped well. So it's, again, not perfect, but I am not perfect, and I'm okay with that. And we're just letting those sides brown. So let's see here. I am going to see if I can mentally calculate how much this is all going to be for this meal, because I have to. So if it is, let's see here, it's going to be 200 total for the tortillas. If we use about 4 tablespoons of salsa for both quesadillas, and that was what, 10 calories a tablespoon? 10 calories per 2. So 4 would be 40. So we're at, let's see here, 240. The cheese is going to get us big time. And again, this is just me rounding. Let's see here. Ooh, it was for 1/3 of a cup. Nice. So if we just call it a whole cup per meal, that would be 110 calories. 110 calories times 3, because 3/3 equals 1 full cup. So that'd be 330. So let me see here. If we were at 240 plus 330 is going to be 570, and then 570, and that's just the cheese. Now we got to add the onion and the green bell pepper. That would be, I want to say it's pretty, like onions and green bell peppers are pretty low. So I'm not 100%. I'm going to go ahead and go like high tier and say that it's going to be like 50 calories for both the half of the onion, which technically for each meal would be 1/4 of an onion, and the green bell pepper together. So now we're looking at 570-ish plus 50. We got that first one laid out real nice. 570 plus 50 is, ooh, it'd only be 25 because it's for the one meal rather than the 2. So that'll be 595, and then I'll go ahead and turn off my heat. All right, and I'm going to leave my mess for later. Usually I like to take my nice nonstick pan and spray it down while it's still hot because I get most of the yuck off of it. But unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, I am filming, so I'm not going to get a chance to do that. So I'm going to throw the utensils in the sink. That way at least they're in the sink. Got some other utensils going on in there, but I've got all that there. Okay. And I'll leave the pan on the stove. I always like to make sure that I did indeed turn off the burner. And so where were we were at 595 plus the steak. I'm going to say about 4 ounces of steak, maybe. And I want to say that that's about 200 to 250 calories. So that's, we're looking at low tier 795, high tier, like I'm going to round up to 850, and then 850 plus the broccoli, which we can find out about the broccoli. And you'll have to forgive my lovely freezer because I was in a hurry. I'm hungry. I wanted to eat. So I just shoved all that in here, but they're all the bags of broccoli. So the broccoli is 25 calories per serving, and they're 4 cups per container. So that'd be 2 cups, which would be 2 servings, which would be 25. So we're looking at, again, low tier, 850 calories, high tier, 900 calories for this entire meal. But we're looking at 2 quesadillas and a nice big old fat chunk of broccoli. So there's that. And right now our video is coming up on 30 minutes. But again, this is probably only like maybe 20 to 30 minutes tops prepping it yourself. And another thing, this is without, the calorie count that I came up with is without any butter on your broccoli. So if you like butter on your broccoli or margarine or whatever, you go ahead and figure. I know that margarine technically technically. I know margarine tends to be, depending on what brand you get, and like if it's what kind of in your brand, margarine tends to be about anywhere from, I think it's like 34 calories to 50 calories per tablespoon, whereas your butter is 100 calories per tablespoon. So you want to watch your calories there if you're doing CECO, or calories in, calories out. So, and my mouth is watering right now. So then we have the other thing that I'm going to add is sour cream, because I like sour cream with mine. And personal preference, Great Value sour cream is delicious. I don't like Daisy. I think it's got a weird wang to it, but that's me. So I am opening the fresh sour cream without dropping it on the floor. Thank God it had the seal just in case. I think the seal still would have busted, but I got it opened. So, and we're looking at 2 tablespoons for 60 calories for that. So really, in real truth, this is probably going to be, and again, we're rounding up, without butter for the broccoli, but this is probably going to be about 1,000 calorie meal. And if you're like me, you want to save your calories for dinner time, because then you can really just sit and enjoy it, depending on what kind of job you have too, because maybe you're like, maybe you work during the evening, you know, and that's kind of your fun meal time where you get to take your time and eat it is actually in the morning when you get breakfast or whatever the case, or lunch, or if you work nights, you know, you make your day as you go. I've been there. So anyway, the whole point though is that we're making a pretty nutritious, relatively low calorie meal. And if you wanted to take it even lower, you would be knocking off, I would say, roughly 200 to 300 calories from your total if you cut it down to 1 quesadilla instead of 2. But I'm fucking hungry, so it's going to be 2 quesadillas. So anyway, that being said, that is the quesadilla video for you. I'm sorry it took so long. But anyway, make good choices, live your best life, be your best self, and I will talk to you in a future video. Bye. Yummy.